Hello and welcome to Using AI as a Writing Coach. Okay, so I had my students, or I'm talking to my students, um, to basically create a fake influencer apology post in the influencer's tone of voice. And it could be a real, actually, no, it's a fake apology. It could be based on a real scandal or a fake scandal that they created or that you created. I'm just gonna talk to my students directly as you now instead of they. Okay, so you were able to write your fake apology post, and now you're going to be using AI, or you are using AI to do two things. One, to have it look at your apology post and see if you fulfilled all the criteria that is necessary for it. So we look up here. The criteria is at the top of each slide. This is the dramatic opening, and you can see you need to have over-the-top emotion, immediate victimhood, and Oscar Wildean wit or irony. Okay, and you can see here, you guys actually had, you already have those posted. You have them in pink color for the over-the-top emotion. You have the yellow highlight for the Wildean wit or irony. But do you really have Wildean wit or irony? And do you really have over-the-top emotion? So that's what we're going to be asking AI to check for us and to give us some advice also. Okay, but going back to that's the primary reason for using AI, and we're going to be using ChatGPT. Okay, that's the primary, is to get an A+. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so you're going to be using AI as a coach to make sure that you fulfill the criteria. However, you probably want to win awards too, because we win awards in my class, as you know, where you evaluate your peers, and eventually we get finalists, and it moves on to other people evaluating the finalists, and we eventually win, have awards. Also, you're going to be going to a conference soon at Los Angeles City Hall, and there's going to be one of the activities or debates is a multi-debate where people use satire to do exactly what you're doing, and to basically make a fake apology on a real life influencer. Okay, well, as we found out, this was not an easy assignment. Okay, especially trying to write in using techniques of Oscar Wilde while maintaining the voice of the influencer, and you creating a fake apology. Whew, pretty tough. All right, so let's move forward and see how we did. So once again, we're going to grab one of these guys here, and you're going to pull the chunk out. You're not going to put the whole apology, all 5 slides or 5 areas. You're not going to put 6 areas. You're going to pull one out at a time and have Chat check it out. So this is what I asked Chat to do. I said, act as a writing coach, assisting me with editing my satirical fake influencer apology post. The influencer I will mimic is Playboy Cardi. Yeah, so this is an example of Chris. So this was Chris's. You might not know who Chris is because I'm not using his last name. But so I'm basically using his example, or Chris, I'm using your example to go ahead and dive into AI as a writing coach. Yeah, because I have no idea who Playboy Cardi was until I started to do this, and here we go. I know a little bit about him now. Okay, so that's what I asked ChatGPT to do, and this is what ChatGPT came back to me with. That sounds like fun and a sharp project. Playboy Cardi has a distinct persona, cryptic, stylish, and sometimes chaotic, so his apology should reflect that. Are you aiming for a specific controversy, or is it more of a general influencer apology satire. Also, do you want to use his aesthetic, minimal words, cryptic symbols, maybe an all-cap approach, or a more exaggerated, overly dramatic influencer style apology with the classic PR phrases? Let me know the tone you're aiming for and drop your draft when ready. So I really like this because this is telling me that Chat does know Playboy Cardi, because I asked my students, is that what Playboy Cardi is? And they said, yes. Thank you, Ben, Michael, and others. Okay. So that tells me that maybe we're dealing with the right person. Okay. Now Chat is saying, do you want to do this or that? And actually I want to do both. So this is what I came back with Chat with. The scandal is real, but the satire apology will be more focused on generally exposing influencer culture. The scandal is about Playboy Cardi not attending his child's birth. Instead, he was playing Grand Theft Auto. Yes, I want his usual aesthetic, minimal words, cryptic symbols, maybe an all caps approach, but I want the apology exaggerated and overly dramatic in the style of Oscar Wilde. Okay, so I want both. And according to my students, yes, this was a real scandal, that instead of being there for his child's birth, he was playing a game. Okay, so I don't know, but that's what they tell me. All right, so that's what I said, and this is what Chat got back to me with. Okay, got it. You want Playboy Cardi usual cryptic, minimal aesthetic, but exaggerated to expose influencer culture. Yes, that's right there. Influencer culture, not so much just to expose Cardi or Playboy Cardi, but more so to expose the influencer culture as a whole. While, let's see, what else he say? While also being dramatically poetic as Oscar Wilde monologue. That's a fire combo. Here's a rough idea of how the apology should sound. Now, I did not like that Chat gave me a full apology example. Okay, Chat's supposed to be acting as a coach. He's not tempting me to cheat. You know what I mean? So bad on Chat for this one. I told you to be a writing coach, not write it for me. All right, so I did not read that whole part because I didn't want to be influenced. All right, so I just go ahead and not ignore what they just wrote. I said, please analyze my opening and tell me if it meets the criteria for a dramatic Playboy Cardi apology. The criteria, that means I'm going for the A+ over here. That's what I'm going for. Okay. All right. So what is it? Does it sound over the top? Does it sound over the top emotional? Make me, Playboy Cardi, seem like a victim, and contain Wildean wit or irony. So those are the three criteria that we talked about right up here: over the top emotion, media victimhood, and Wildean wit or irony. All right. So, and then I said, here's my opening. And I basically copied and pasted Chris's first section right there. Fwah, is Cardi my bad for missing my son's birth? I ain't even realize he finna be born that day low key. Uzi told me to hop on GTA 5, so I couldn't decline. But these past few days got me feeling more pain than ever since my brother died. I feel depressed, and I've been thinking about homicide. I feel fangs digging in my heart, and it's the worst thing I've ever felt. I feel worse than the last time I dropped an album. Now, that sounds pretty darn good, Chris. That's why maybe I chose yours. But yeah, so let's see what Chat tells us about the criteria and whether Chris fulfilled the criteria or not. Okay, so basically Chat gave me all this. If you notice over here, right up there, it says over the top emotion, and then making Playboy Cardi the victim, and Wildean wit and irony. So I really like that. Let's zoom in on the first one, over the top emotion. And over the top emotion right here, it says you have some strong emotional phrases, feeling more pain than ever, fangs digging in my heart, which is good. However, it escalates too quickly into thinking about homicide, which is more concerning than dramatic. Instead of making him seem like a tortured artist drowning in sorrow, this part could be reworked to feel more permanently melancholic. performatively melancholic, like an influencer exaggerating the pain for sympathy. So, I might think, oh, maybe that's good advice, but I don't know Playboy Cardi. So I asked Michael and Ben and others, does Cardi escalate really fast, or does it not escalate fast? And they're like, no, he escalates very fast, and he actually faster than most influencers. So I could have took this advice and changed it and taken some bad advice from chat. So it's time to push back on AI. So here's the pushback, okay? I said, Cardi often escalates too quickly. I said this based on Ben and Michael and some others in the class. Okay, using concerning language like most influencers, but Cardi actually escalates faster than other influencers. Let's see what chat does with my pushback. Okay, and this is what chat came up with. Okay, that makes sense. Cardi's whole vibe is about extremes, and influencer apologies often take a sharp, almost absurdly intense emotional turn. If Cardi escalates faster than other influencers, we should amplify that trait in a way that feels both unhinged and self-indulgent. Yes, pushback worked, according to Ben, Michael, and others. And now, that tells me that, we're good with over-the-top emotion. I don't need to move forward. I don't need to edit, okay? And we don't want to edit too much. We want to keep authenticity as much as possible. So let's move on to the second part here, making Playboy Cardi the victim, okay? So if you remember what the criteria was, immediate victimhood, way up there. Okay? So immediate victimhood, and that's where we're going. And so we're going to focus on this area. So it said immediate victimhood. The line, these past few days got me feeling more pain than ever since my brother died, is a classic influencer move, deflecting blame by bringing up a personal tragedy. Okay, so nice deflection, but is it making him seem the victim? Okay, but to maximize satire, you can learn more into making it sound like fate conspired against him rather than his own bad decision making. Maybe something like this: the universe aligned against me, the stars fell out of the sky, the cruel fate dragged me into the neon glow of Los Santos. I was but a pawn in destiny's hand. And I asked Ben and I asked Michael and one of the Erics, I said, does that sound like Playboy Cardi? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, so we might have some okay advice, but it's definitely not good advice for winning an award, right? Because you're trying to win the award by having your peers vote for you and you win an award. But maybe it would have probably got you an A+ in that one section, but you're not going to win the award. So you're kind of like going in and out between these. All right, so let's go back over, and it's time to push back. Okay, so let's push back against AI again. And this is what you have to do with AI. Okay, if you have a coach, right? It's like, even if you're talking to me and you're telling me, you're giving me this, and I'm coaching you on this. Okay, I don't know Playboy Cardi. Okay, you only the fans know Playboy Cardi. So I might give bad advice, just like chat's doing. So it's time to push back. Push back. Here we go. Okay, so I said, regarding your comment about maximizing satire, your example of the universe aligned against me, the stars fell out of the sky, etc., 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 etc. Where is it? Drag me. That was impossible. Okay, I said, let's see. Here we go. I said, is not worded as Cardi normally speaks. Cardi's lingo is different. So there's my pushback. I'm saying, no, that's not Cardi. Especially according to Ben, Erics, and Michael. Okay, so let's see what chat did with that pushback. Boom. You're absolutely right. So this is the second time on my pushback we were right, and Chat acknowledges it, which is kind of cool, but you have to push back. Cardi wouldn't phrase things that way. His lingo is more fragmented, raw, and cryptic. The challenge is keeping the dramatic, self-victimizing tone while ensuring it still sounds like Cardi, not a poet from the 19th century. That's true. So it said, let's cardify the exaggeration so it still reads like an influencer apology, but in his natural cryptic style. Let's go. Okay, let's see what Chat gives us. Boom. Okay, so bring my pointer back up here. And here we are, maximizing. It said not Cardi. So Chat is saying no, Chat was wrong. And, the stars fell the sky thing. And then Cardi style satire. So I read it. Blood drop emoji. I was posed to be there, but the world ain't let me. Heart emoji, broken heart emoji. The stars ain't lined up. My mind got hacked. My soul got DOSed. Los Santos called me in, and I answered. But it was a trick, a trap, a setup. Real life was loading, but I ain't even see the cut scene. Okay, so I asked Ben, Michael, and Eric, and some others, okay, does that sound like Playboy Cardi? And they all said resoundingly yes. Okay, so the thing here now is, what do we use? And do we need to use anything? Because we're trying to make him sound like the self-victim, okay? Did Chris make him sound like the victim? I think he definitely did. But I would have given an A for this section, no problem. But once again, you might be trying to get more than an A. You might be trying to get an award. So that takes us to Chat. So we're gonna figure out what to handpick. And the main thing though is we want to keep our original text 75% original. Okay, at least. Even though what we're gonna do is maybe, what Chat came up with here is both an interaction between Chat and us, ChatGPT and us. Okay, so to a certain degree, it is our originality using Chat as a coach. Okay, but we're not going to just copy and paste this, right? That would be 100% non-authentic. Well, it sort of is it's authentic because we both engage together, but we want to keep as many of our words as possible. So we feel so once again that we don't feel ourselves being an imposter. Okay, so let's see what we did. Okay, this is what we came up with. We pulled a couple lines in. So Los Santos, which is part of GTA 5, I guess, according to the class, is a character, I think, in GTA 5. Okay, so Los Santos called me and I answered, just kind of emphasizing a little bit more that he's under the influence of Los Santos or GTA 5. And then also at the very bottom, just to kind of sink it in, real life was loading, but I ain't even see the cutscene. Okay, so just to once again kind of just really kind of emphasize victimhood. And if we look at this, this is 88% authentic and 12% AI assisted. So we're right there. We did it, and this was it. But we had to. What do we have to do? What do we have to do? We had to push back on AI, and we had to know the influencer that we were writing a fake apology on. Okay, but what that gets us is, yay, certificate of authenticity, proudly presented to you for being 75% or more original in your writing. And what else does that get? Well, it definitely gets an A+, but this is definitely a award contender right here. And that's it. So I hope this helps you on this assignment to finish the assignment and finish it well. And that is basically using AI as a writing coach. And this is Coach Morales out.